YouTube, welcome back. Today is going to be the state of my collection, my watch collection. I wanted to do one of these for a while because I haven't gotten a watch in a while, so my collection has pretty much stayed the same. So I will introduce you to my collection. Okay, sorry about some of the glare. It's because of my ceiling fan, so I'll just kind of... Alright, we're going to start off with a classic that probably most of you know. I'm not going to take these out of the case because you probably know. Unless, well, maybe I'll take some of them out. This is my Seiko SKX. Maybe one of my favorite watches. It's not wound right now. I do not own a watch winder, so I got to do the Seiko shuffle every time I want to wear this, which is fine with me. That's not a big deal. But this watch, I have so much love for this watch. I took this watch with me because this is a real diver. Let me take it out. Might as well take it out. This is a real diver. I took this with me on my cruise with my dad and swam in the ocean with it. It has the original Jubilee bracelet. I know a lot of people don't like this bracelet. I love this bracelet. It is so comfortable. It feels not expensive, but it does the job and it's comfortable. So, there's something about this watch. It's just something about it. I just love wearing it all the time. You can see I'm not wearing a watch, so I can showcase all of them for you. So let's that one aside. Over here. The next one. Now, I guess I'll go in order. Well, there's really no particular order. This is I belonged to Watch Gang for a while. And I belonged to it for 3 months. And I really liked it. But it was a bit pricey, and I had other things to do. I see a little smudge on my dial. Well, this is the Pure Dial with the green sunburst. And this is a really cool watch. It's really thick and heavy. It has, as you can see, solid end links. It has one of these windows in the back. It's been a while since I looked at watches. I forget what they're called. But I love that. You can see the rotor. It's really heavy. I took this with me. I wore this to the Pistons game this last weekend. And the bracelet is so blingy and shiny that it just pops. So, if you're not one of those people that like Invictus or that I've seen them, but I've never ordered those Swolo clocks or the diesel watches. This might be a bit big and chunky, but for my 6'3" frame, and big frame anyways, this is perfect. I can get away with this and wear this almost anywhere. It's got the butterfly clasp, but you can see it scratches easily. There's a lot of scratches, and I've only had it a little while. But most of the scratches are where you would think the scratches would be. But besides that, this watch I really, really enjoy wearing this one. This one, it's an automatic, so I'll set this one aside next to the SKX. Now I guess we're going to go into a couple of quartz, maybe a few quartzes. Because I'm not a snob. If it's a quartz and I like it, I'm going to buy it. I don't care. This is my pilot watch. Well, one of my pilot watches. This is the Schmidt, and if you know anything about the German airplane, the Schmidt, this plane set some speed records, and it says 755 up here in red. I think that was the record, and I just love the look of this. I love the red minute hand. I love the pilot. The little what do you call these? I won't say grommets, that's a problem. Or not a grommet, but it's these things. I just love it. Case back. Nothing special with the case back. Made in Germany. just a fun watch to wear. I can wear it with almost anything. I really enjoy it. It's really, really light. It's really, really light. It's lighter than both of those bad boys. And the SKX is not a very heavy watch. This thing is super light. So put the Mr. Schmidt. One of my other favorites I like to wear. It kind of reminds me of Indiana Jones. I don't know why, but this is another flight watch. I think because when I bought this, I probably shouldn't, but I showered with this thing on, and you can do that, but you're not supposed to, but I did. This is water resistant, 100 meters. But this band was a lot lighter. It was almost this, maybe a little lighter than this color up here. And being in the water, it kind of aged it, but I love what it did to it. Like, it was more matching the numbers on the face. But I love that it did this. It feels like it really came out of like an Indiana Jones movie. I don't know. This is another quartz, intelligent quartz. It has the indigo on the side. You can see it. I love that indigo. I call this like my work watch. So when I'm sleeping, I set my alarm. But if I want to look and see what time it is, I can just boom, right there. There it is. I love how busy the face is. I love the little T on the minute hand. It's just for the price. It's not a super expensive watch, but man, you get your money's worth out of this thing. I love the look of this. It is so cool. There's so many little nuances that I just notice about this watch. You can see the case back there. I just really, 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 really love that watch. We'll put this next to the Messerschmitt. Okay, next. Here's one of my other. This is the second of my watch gang. The watch gang. I actually did a review of this watch. This watch is really cool. Certain things about this watch I really like. Certain things irk me. This bezel doesn't quite match up. It does, but it doesn't. You can see it. But you can see the out of order underneath the bezel inside. That's really cool. I love these little, almost look like the hands on a Rolex. I forget what they're called. And it has a cyclops like a Rolex. I'm not crazy about the bracelet. I like the look of the bracelet, but it just feels like tin and slightly chintzy, and I mean, but for the, I guess for the price of the watch, it's not bad, but you don't have solid end links. It's not a bad watch at all. It's a fun watch to wear. I have a lot of fun. I can dive with this watch. This is another quartz. Well, I don't know about dive. I've swam with this watch before. I don't know about diving. 100. I see 100 there, unless it's a 10 atmosphere. But I like it. Would I buy it again? No. Would I get rid of it? No, I'm not going to get rid of it. I like it too much. But that's the fun of the watch gang thing is getting watches that you wouldn't normally buy and wearing them. I do love, the dive style watches. I'm not a diver, but whatever. It's a fun watch. All right, we'll get into some history now. Let's get into a little history here, shall we? This guy. This was probably my very first nicer watch that I bought. When I started working in 1999, 2000 time, actually I think I started working in 98, but when I got my first good job, I wanted a watch to wear that looked nice. I went out and spent some money and bought myself a Citizen. And you can see it has scratches all over the crystal glass. But, this watch is 19 years old and it still runs. Like, this is a Citizen. It's nice and thin. It's a quartz, but look how thin that is. That's from a different era. You know, it's just so thin. It's comfortable to wear. You know, it's scratched, but I don't care. I love my Citizen. This bezel does not move, by the way, if you're wondering. It does not twist. But, I love the look of the bracelet. The bracelet has its own kind of look to it. So, I could not tell you guys what model this is. I have no idea myself. I've tried looking it up, and I can't find it. Let's see if I can... maybe if I flip it up, because it's upside down, look at it that way. Here, if you guys want to know what that is, that's it. Movement Japan. I don't know what, but there you have it. Fun watch. One of my favorites. One of my first and one of my favorites. All right. This, if you guys are watch aficionados, you'll know exactly what this is. Right next to the SKX. Sorry, I'm having a little trouble getting it off the... Wow, it's on there tight. Come on, bear with me. Bear with me. Here we go. I got it loose. Beautiful watch. Sleek. I even like the band. I don't care what you guys say about these bands. I think these bands are just fine. I think they are sharp. This is the Orient Bambino, and this is the one with the rose gold. And kind of the more of like an off-white cream color dial. I think this is one of the nicest watches I have. It's wine. It has a rotor. It's an automatic. For your money, look what you're getting. Look at this. Look at the glass. Look at the dome glass on it. Look at that. That just screams class and style. For a Japanese watch, this is an absolute beauty. I don't think you can do a watch better than what they did for a dress watch. And if you gentlemen going out to buy your first suit and you want a dress watch that's nice, it's not going to break the bank, this is the one to go for. Get yourself an Orient Bambino. Gorgeous watch for the money. I just love this watch. Now there's no lume on it, but again, it's a dress watch. So there's another one of my favorites. I went to see Andre Rieu in concert at the Fox, and I wore that one. This probably my favorite next to the SKX. When I started getting into watches, when I started really getting into watches, I asked my wife for this watch, and she bought this watch for me. This is the Bulova Precisionist. Oh my gosh, look at this dial. I don't know if you can see where the white is. It's like the circle brushed inside the white between the markers. Right at the tip of where the yellow minute hand is. You can see it's like I don't know, it's like pearl almost. And the minute hand is cool. It has that little now this is a quartz. It has that little infinity sign on it. But look at this watch, guys. Look at it. It is huge. This is not for a little tiny man, I'm sorry to say. You could maybe get away with it, but for little guys, I'd stay away from this one. This one is huge. But look at how it sits up. It's almost like the Colosseum. And it's curved. I just thought that was so cool. Like, it's curved. The glass is curved. It has these little, looks like they're nuts on here, or bolts. I'm just screw down crown. I think it's solid in links. This is a monster, guys. This is my heaviest watch. Next to my pure dial with the green face, next to this one, this is probably my heaviest and chunkiest watch. Love this watch, guys. This is what got me into watches, and I'd like to give a shout out to some of the YouTubers that I watch, probably my favorite is for watches is TGV, the Urban Gentry. That's the name of the channel is Urban Gentry, and Tristano got me into watches. Here we go. Here's another dress watch. This is another Watch Gang watch. It's a William Greger. I always have to say Greger, like Rob Roy. This is a cool watch. It's almost gray, but it's almost like a purple sunburst. This is I'm sorry. Let me try to focus. It's an automatic. I don't care. They give you 2 bracelets. When I got this watch, they gave me a steel mesh, and I liked the steel mesh, but it kept opening on me, and the watch fell twice off my wrist, and I said, I can't do that. So I'd like to find maybe an oyster for this, or I don't know, maybe a nicer strap. Maybe I might just do a nicer strap, because this is more of a dress watch. As you can see, it's on the strap is on backwards. If you hadn't noticed that, if you aficionados out there haven't seen that, you'll point that out to me. But there's the case back there. I wouldn't take this diving. I probably wouldn't even take this swimming, because I don't know. It's not a screw down crown. But I mean, for looks, it has the looks. Kind of has the markers at like the top 12 marker. It reminds me a little bit of like the Nomos. I don't know, the Nomos markers on it. Yeah, it's a nice watch. There's another one I probably wouldn't have bought for myself, but that was part of the fun with Watch Gang. So that's all of those. Now, this one, I don't know if you guys are going to be excited about it. This is my oldest watch. Not much to it. I had to replace these bands. It seems like all of the old Mickey Mouse watches that you buy at the Disney store or bought through mail, all of these bands, these black bands, they just die. So I went out and bought a new one. And these were released when you ordered the Disney Channel. When it was like part of the premium package. And I know it's not much to you guys. I mean, it is a small watch. I mean, I'm going to give you kind of a, we'll show you next to the Bambino the size of this watch, the size of the dials. Okay, you kind of know what a Bambino is. The watch is small. It's almost like a child's watch. And I thought it was lost forever. I had no idea my mom had it all these years. Thank God she did, because that's part of my childhood. I'll put an SKX just so you can see if you guys don't have a. Yeah. I'm not gonna get my calipers out and do measurements for you guys. I mean, I'm not gonna go that thorough. I'm not TGV. But I've had this watch since the Disney Channel came out, and I don't know how old I was. I was probably about 3 or 4 years old, and my mom's had this watch, and I used to wear this watch every day. Let me take it off this thing, and you can see the case back. I don't know if there'd be a year on it or anything, or Hong Kong quartz. So it's not going to be like a watch that you're going to go spend a lot of money on. I mean, there is not much to this watch, but to me it has all the value in the world. I am so thankful I have this, and that is why it's in my collection. It was my very first watch, and I'm blessed to have it still to this day. Honorable mention right here. One of my pocket watches that I got, my brother and sister-in-law bought this for me for my graduation. And I guess it's a Colibri. I don't know what that means, but I have always loved this pocket watch. One of my most prized possessions that I personally have. This And I know you've seen it in the video. This guy over here, my grandpa Ganell, lives in Florida, and he lived near a place in West Palm Beach called Dreher Park, and they had the Dreher Park Zoo. And I was maybe 7 or 8 years old, and I liked this box. It was in the zoo, in the shop at the end, in the souvenir shop, and it was on the top shelf in the zoo, and it's just a keepsake box. And I keep my ring, I keep my class ring in there. I just love this. I've had it so long, and I will never get rid of it. Never. This is my keepsake box, and I just like my Mickey watch, I still have it. So, thank you guys so much. For what? I'm so sorry. Something happened to my phone. I thought I lost you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching my channel. Thank you for being here with me today. If you want to see more videos like this, please like the video. If you want to see videos about things that I own, or I'm not much of a fashionista, but I do have some things that I like, let me know. Thank you so much, and you guys have a very blessed night. Bye-bye.